Los Ratones are going to the LEC. Or they're in the LEC. Kind of, technically. Depends how you look at it. Yo, that is sick. Okay, so the very, very, very easy summative description of this report is basically Riot are getting rid of the LEC winter split, and instead they're replacing it with a kickoff tournament. You're gonna have 10 teams from the LEC and the 2 best teams from the ERL. Here's the thing. Los Ratones are already the best team in the ERL. So what this absolutely shamelessly is just a way to get Los Ratones to play against LEC teams as soon as possible. All right, so before we start talking about how Baus is going to win Worlds, quick shout out to Cash App. Cash App has got it all, from customizable debit cards to exclusive discounts on concert tickets, things you would never expect from a finance app. Not just that, but they have partnered with us to bring you the Cash App Clutch of the Week every week until the end of the year on all of our social feeds. So hit the link in the description below to download Cash App right now. Also, starting the week of October 13th, we are going to be giving away $250 per week for 12 weeks. So pay attention during episodes of React and you can find out how to make some green. Winners are going to be announced on the TTK podcast. Are Los Ratones in the LEC proper? No, at least not yet. Riot could pull out some other crazy shit over the next couple of months. But as of right now, they are not competing in the 2 subsequent splits, only this inaugural kickoff tournament. The thing that's really cool about this tournament is that the winner of the tournament actually qualifies for the first stand, which is the first international event of the year, which next year is taking place in Brazil. This means an ERL team could theoretically earn a place at an international competition and face off against champions from other major regions. So yes, if Los Ratones win kickoff, they could technically play against Korean or LPL teams on LAN. So yeah, we're gonna get Baus fucking 1v1ing Keen or the Shy, which, let's be honest, is the only thing any one of us want out of League of Legends in 2026. Riot have experimented with stuff around this in other regions. This is the first time they're doing it in Europe. Obviously, the European teams, orgs, mostly owners, are pissed because there's a big question on whether or not Riot consulted with the LEC teams before they did this. Because if so, what that means is that Riot and the LEC as an entity basically went over the heads of the owners, right? And keep in mind, these spots cost millions of dollars each, right? To basically make a change that allows for this academy team, who has not paid these millions of dollars, to have a chance at an international tournament. Now, Caedrel got in shit because on stream, he basically insinuated that the other teams would have to have agreed with this. There's like, in other words, like he's making a logical, rational inference. There's no way that the other teams didn't agree with this for Riot to go forward with it. He didn't say he knows they did. He said he's assuming they did, which is a very reasonable assumption.
If this was to have ever gone through, I'm pretty sure all the teams have to greenlight it, don't they? Don't all the teams have to greenlight this? I think the teams are probably on board as well.
He said probably. He was speculating. He wasn't saying anything concrete. He was speculating and reaching a conclusion.
This matters, right? Because all of us basically assumed that this was the case. Especially because if you actually go to the report, you can see that Sheep Esports said the idea of having ERL teams compete directly with LEC teams for Worlds qualification was also discussed, but declined by LEC organizations who argued it would devalue their guaranteed spots. However, further integration can be expected. Because of this line right here, it's reasonable to assume that Riot had consulted to some degree, right, with the teams. Again, reasonable to assume. Yamato dwells on this because people came at Caedrel for basically saying, oh, you said they all agreed, and then what happens is that these other owners, org entities, etc., like Kamito, started to say that there was no one who agreed to this, and Riot literally just did it. The LEC literally just decided, hey, we're getting rid of the winter split, and we're bringing in Los Ratones. Is this disrespectful to the teams? Yes. It absolutely is. But that's not really anything to do with Caedrel or Los Ratones. And I'm not saying this because I'm a Caedrel Los Ratones stan. I am, but like that's not why I'm saying this. Like, I completely agree that if this is true, if Riot did this without consulting the teams, they categorically fucked over the LEC teams. But as Caedrel himself said on stream,
they're like, yeah, but Caedrel, what about all these teams that paid millions to get in? What? How does that involve me?
That is beef between Riot and the LEC teams. That has genuinely nothing to do with Caedrel or Los Ratones. Obviously, he should accept the offer. It makes no sense to say no to this if you're Caedrel or Los Ratones. The problem is that Homie's getting lambasted because he, quote, didn't want to pay for an LEC slot. Understandable, but Riot gave him the keys to the house. They absolutely have to find a way to integrate with the LEC to show bullish momentum. Brother, in what universe do you think that Homie just has 20 mil lying around?
So let's frame this in a way where Caedrel secretly has all this money that he can buy a spot for 20 million in, but he didn't want to, so he's manipulated everyone to invite himself to a tournament. How dare he? Like, what is going on?
Do you have any idea how much it costs to buy an LEC slot? Everyone's talking about how Riot's over these teams, right? And because how much money they paid to get into it, which they rightfully should be criticizing Riot for that. And then the second that it comes to Caedrel, it's like, oh, he just didn't want to buy his way in. Bro, it's 20 million euros or whatever. Like, what do you mean? Homie's doing well for himself. He does not have that kind of cash, brother. On the whole, I think this is a good thing. I agree that keeping Los Ratones in the ecosystem and integrating them is fantastic. That said, assuming this is true, going against the wishes of all the partner teams or even some of them and breaking the trust is a bad thing. That is really bad. It does basically make a mockery of the LEC as a whole. And as much as I want to see Los Ratones play, and as much as I think it's absolutely a good thing that Riot have made this move to get Los Ratones onto the main stage as quickly as possible, if they did it like this, it's bad. It's bad for everybody in the long term. Yamato Cannon spells it out really well right here, where he basically talks about transitioning away from franchising is kind of the only play that Riot have left. Like, it's something they have to do because it's just not working. It's just bad, especially in the West. But it's also just screwing over the partnerships. It has to be done delicately. Now, anyway, am I happy with this? I'm over the moon. I think this is absolutely the right play. Los Ratones are the most successful product in Western League of Legends since G2 in 2019. Like, they are, bar none, the best thing, the most successful butts and seats ticket attraction that Riot have right now, especially when it comes to Western League of Legends. Is it disrespectful to the other teams? Oh, yeah. Was there a better way to do it? I definitely think there probably was. But it had to be done. It honestly had to be done. Now, the question is, how are they going to hang when they actually have to deal with LEC teams? Well, for those who've been keeping up with Los Ratones' Scrim clips, I got one for you here, boys.
And then here we get the God tier setup and we just overplay. And then we double down on int. So, like, we just have to get the 4-man on the same side, play when we have a good window, and they will get f***ed, and it's over.
Only context you need for this, kids, is that this is now 14 minutes into the Scrim. Baus has literally said nothing. Nothing. He's just, you know, solo queuing on Twitter, whatever. Has said nothing until now.
If we're an LEC team, this game is over. From this point onwards, the game's over because Yon can't play the game ever. They cannot play the game.
We are an LEC team.
That's my f***ing goat, baby. That's my goat right there. I mean, now here's the thing, guys. Honestly, all this team does is argue and then f***ing dumpster the region. That's all they do. They just f***ing roast each other in scrims, get cutthroat, and then just absolutely destroy every ERL team in existence. So basically, the TLDR you need here is that Crowny is criticizing Velia because he face checks this bush and Trundle could be here, and if Karma collapses from the tier 1, then he's dead, right? So he makes this play with no info, which is what he's basically calling Velia to task on here, the fact that he has no info.
If he's in the bush, what happens to you? But if he's in this bush that you just face checked and Karma collapses on you, are you not dead?
You out, bro. Like, what do you mean?
But Karma is there. You die. You're dead. You have no flash. Karma is moving right now. If Trundle is here, you're not dead.
No, I'm not dead.
Okay.
I mean, we would probably click out and not make the play happen. I don't think we need to nitpick this.
You're dead for sure.
You are dead. You are dead. You are dead. You are dead
I don't understand what you guys are like trying to achieve here.
I'm assuming where is enemy jungle because we don't have vision, and then most of the times I'm correct. So what is the point of assuming that Trundle should have based for his fucking?
Dude, Reckless is trying so hard not to laugh, bro. Honestly, however this fucking pans out, however this turns out, it's gonna be sick. Is this great for Los Ratones? Yes. It's zero downside for Los Ratones. Is it great for the viewers? Yes. Great for the viewers. Is it bad for the other LEC teams? Yes. Is it bad for the LEC in the long term? Probably. Is it something Riot should have done? Yes and no. That's sort of the difficulty of all of this. Like, it's something they had to do, but they probably could have found a more delicate way to handle it. But honestly, man, at this point, I don't care. I just want to watch Baus absolutely own the paycheck stealers. This clip of him on stream talking about it is unhinged, bro. So this is Baus's first reaction to the news, and just watch.
I haven't really been paying attention to the team meetings, but apparently there's gonna be some intense gaming happening at the start of next year, and the Baus FFS is winning Worlds 2026. You guys remember at the start of this year? Start of 2025, Los Ratones gets announced. Nobody really took anything serious. I said it from the get-go. I said I'm winning Worlds next year. I've always said that. Well, you know, I wasn't lying.
He's a fucking menace, but he's our menace, boys. And God, am I fucking excited to see him own some paycheck stealers.
Thanks for watching. If you want more content like this, hit the sub button and ring the notification bell. For unique bite-sized videos you won't find anywhere else, hit us up on our X, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok.